Hello and welcome to the Student Support Portal. The portal is an online community of students, educational professionals and parents of students with a disability who want to keep up to date with the latest developments in assistive technology. Today we are welcoming Reeza Awodeen to the portal from Tech Ed Marketing. Reeza, hi there, welcome.
Hi Michael, nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Reeza, your product is Inspiration that we're talking about today.
That's
can
correct.
You tell us a bit of background on yourself, first of all, please?
Yeah, so I've worked within education technology for nearly 20 years, though I'd like to think that I don't actually look that old. But yeah, 20 years working within education technology. Prior to that, it's been very much working within marketing for a consumer magazine company and also a disability charity. But yeah, primarily around marketing and product development.
Okay, and Inspiration, I know has been around for a long time. It's recently come into your stable. You're now managing the publishing rights of that. So can you tell us a little bit about the company and how you see that going forward?
With Tech Ed Marketing, we have three strings to our bow. One is as a marketing consultancy for various different assistive tech companies. We run events which showcase the available assistive tech in the market. But a key focus for us is our publishing side and Inspiration 9, which we did recently acquire. And it's something that we're very much focused on in terms of taking this product into the future.
Great. And what's your role, Reeza, with the company?
So I'm the founder of Tech Ed Marketing and one of the company directors, but also because I've worked with Inspiration for 20 years, and that's primarily been where my background has been in terms of the support of that product. I'm the product specialist for Inspiration as well.
Okay, and how has your business grown over the past number of years? I've obviously met you at many, many conferences. So can you take us through a little bit about that journey?
Yeah, so the company was set up around 8 years ago. Originally as a consultancy and has spread its wings in terms of events and now being a publisher, but it has grown really strongly over these past few years. So we're now a team of 4 rather than it just being myself when I started. And yeah, our portfolio is growing in terms of the products that we sell and also the events that we run.
Okay, and can we talk a little bit about mind mapping in general and why you took on the Inspiration product? I guess people watching this would know that as maybe spider diagrams. Mind maps is a term that I would use. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so mind mapping is a term of one specific technique of visual learning. And so Inspiration has been around for 36 years. It's probably one of the original ed tech software products that you would have found in the market. And so over the years, it's built up a massive user base. You know, there's millions of users globally. It has heavy presence in the US, Canada, UK. You know, it is an international product. And so, and the thing as well was it has been developed as being an education product. So it's not a product that's coming from another sector. It has been wholly founded in terms of advancing learning, helping in terms of achievement and attainment. And so rather than it just being mind mapping, it allows you to do concept mapping, it allows you to do outlining, all of these various different study skill strategies that can help learners, particularly those with specific learning difficulties.
Reeza, can you tell me, from a user's point of view, a lot of people on this channel they have dyslexia or maybe a parent of a student with dyslexia. So how would a mind mapping program like Inspiration be useful for them?
So Inspiration, you know, it can be used by any user. So, but it has been particularly proven to be beneficial to students and workers, for example, with specific learning difficulties. So if you've got a student with dyslexia, for example, they've got learning barriers. And what Inspiration does is it provides an alternative approach to overcome them. So they might have lots of ideas buzzing around in their head. They're very visual thinkers, but they struggle to get those ideas down in writing. And so one getting those ideas down, but also organising and structuring it. So what Inspiration does is it has tools within there to encourage getting those ideas out, and then to be able then to start to organise and structure those ideas visually in a way in which it makes sense to that particular user. And in that way, they can communicate their understanding of a concept or topic, and then also then to start to expand on it. So we have features such as to be able to add notes to it, to and an outline view. So what happens is that working from a graphical perspective, you can create a writing outline that can kickstart the writing process, creating a report or an essay. So it means that a student who perhaps was struggling to put pen to paper, they have an alternative approach to be able to write an essay, a report, or an assignment.
Great. Okay. And is there such a thing as a typical client who would use Inspiration? Is there a particular group that you're targeting with this software?
It's quite wide. So as I said earlier, it's a tool that can be used by everyone, but generally it will be users, from a dyslexia, dyspraxia, for example, a student who, say, perhaps has got issues with working memory. So they need to process things very quickly, or else they'll forget things, or students who struggle to retain information. So Inspiration provides a different approach through study skills applications to get around those sorts of barriers.
Okay, and if a parent wanted to purchase that for their child, what is the cost of that, and are there different licensing models?
So for a parent buying it, it's simply £49. It's a perpetual license, one-off cost. If, say, for example, it was a school looking to purchase it, then we do have volume and site license options with, generous discounts. But for a parent, £49 is the only investment they need to make.
Okay, and is there a trial version? Can they install that on a machine for a set time to try it first before they purchase?
Parents who would like to purchase Inspiration but would like to obviously have the reassurance that it's a software product that's useful for their student, we do offer a 14-day money-back guarantee.
Great. And where would parents go to purchase that? Is it available generally online, or do you have a specific web store you'd want people to use?
So you can go to our website, which is inspiration-at.com. That's one option, and you can purchase there immediately for download. But we do have lots of different resellers that sell Inspiration as well.
Reeza, we've spoken a lot about individual uses of the software. If Senkos or learning support coordinators are watching this, is there an option for them to purchase that on bulk or a site license?
Yeah, so we do have quite flexible licensing options for institutions. So one of them is volume licenses based on the number of computers that you want to install Inspiration onto. Obviously, the more you buy, the cheaper it gets per license. But the other really popular option is the site license. So one, it means you can just put it on every single computer in your institution. Even if it's multi-site, it's covered from that perspective. But the other thing as well, we also have this feature which we call the student top-up subscription. So you just pay an annual subscription, and what that does is it allows you to provide licenses for students to install onto their home computers. So if particularly looking from a reasonable adjustment perspective, you've got students who depend on the software in a school setting, they can now have access to Inspiration on their home computer. But also the other thing as well, it's a perpetual license. So once you've given it to the student, it's theirs. And so it's not tied to the school. They can continue to use it even if the school isn't using it.
Great. So Senko's learning support coordinators, again, can reach you via your group site.
That's right.
And arrange to have a demonstration or whatever online.
Yep, of course, yes.
Great. Thank you. Reeza, technology is changing at a phenomenal pace. Are there any particular developments that you see in the pipeline in terms of concept maps and mind maps? Any changes that you can share with us?
So I think what we're aiming to do, and reflective of the, in terms of how technology and education is changing, is moving to being platform agnostic. So wherever you are, whatever device you're on that you can concept, you can mind map, for example. So we have an application for Windows, which is Inspiration 9. There is the option also, if you've got an iPad or an iPhone, to be able to mind map and concept map on those particular devices. And so we are looking at other common types of platforms that students will be accessing so that our application can be accessed from those. Other things that we're looking at is how we integrate with other technologies, because it's all about, you know, you might do something in one piece of technology and then you want to move that into Inspiration. So we want to make our application much more accessible, and also for you then to be able to do it the other way. So if you've created something in Inspiration, you want to move it elsewhere. So that, in effect, you know, it's a case of that we're talking to various different applications you can bring in and you can take out and be very productive in terms of your work.
Yeah, I think that I've heard a lot of talk recently about interoperability between all the software platforms and the vendors and publishers. And it does seem that that's the way it's going now, that everything has to work with everything else.
Yep, definitely.
You've obviously taken over Inspiration relatively recently. Have you any plans to develop the product beyond what it is at the moment?
Yeah, so we're hard at work on a new version, and so that's already started. There are some new features that users have been asking for, and so we've added that to the top of the list. And so the aim is that we'll have a new version ready for the new academic year. So there'll be some new features, and there will also be some boring under the bonnet stuff that users won't realize there immediately, but allows us to do some exciting stuff for the future.
Great. Okay. Reeza, thank you very much for talking to us. You obviously have a group on the portal. So if students and parents want, I think they can contact you on that for more information.
Yeah, by all means, that's a great way to get in contact with us.
Great. Thanks for speaking to us today. I appreciate your time. This interview was part of our Publishers and Manufacturers series of interviews. If you'd like more information on the products that were discussed in the interview, please go to the portal Assistive Technology section and start a conversation. Thanks for watching.